ngale konta be tenen lo wala mo kama ana na first but second barada me you know no third barada you know what I'm saying realistic all you know bi nga kiba dandan so do kana ka fo Gambia dingole ko Adama Barrow, Adama Barrow, business partner solid in the Gambia. Adama Barrow, business partners. Who are Adama Barrow, business partners? Adama Barrow, business partners solid. Mena wale jibe la kataba kesla ninkunyaro la information la mendi mola. Ntina otaka ku talemo dundo kono. Yes. So, new madaje mediamula about Ministry of Basic Secondary School in a local language introduction or school oda ketanyadi le. Juman leba ko nyinkoma. Aldo fana domande mo la diela. New bodaje ali bina mola the current armed robberies menkeda banjul the sub owner jumala sub owner nyendi I'm in connection sort with the previous regime and then Adama Barrow current regime I've been off an asset la the London Conjaro revelation on your corner. But Janimbe Okera, Benim Isa Fallen video, Mbole Lamola Domanding, Gameno Laline Lamoy, Alena Okuni, Mbofana highlight Lale a little bit. Go Adama Barrow, I never Gameno.
In a shock,
just
display. Pride,
7 minute column, bro.
I have consistently decried the severe economic hardships that afflict our peoples and the unjust society our current government is busy building. In a shocking display, the president lamented on national television that they too suffer like us. He explained that during trips, they have had to feed on bread and sardines or bread and butter due to lack of funds. I don't have to say it for him. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
You know, sometimes, even if we are traveling, sometimes we travel with our party because they say the process is not finished. President, recently when we travel, it's like that. Oh, everybody is careful. Tomorrow, if I am called, how I'm going to answer this? Because the law says A, B, and C. Personally, I'm affected. How? I say sometimes I travel with our party. My team, entire team, we travel. Our process are not finished. We cannot get money in place.
So how do you survive in foreign countries?
This is the country. We sacrifice. Even if we are going to eat muro butter, we go and eat muro butter and we manage our sardine and all sort of. But this is the country. We have to sacrifice.
You have had him. Is this a game of deception or a mockery of the lives that ordinary Gambians live on a daily basis? And I can assure you that for a lot of these people, bread and butter or bread with sardines is a rare luxury. Let me remind the president of the facts, and indeed the Gambian people. In 2025, we are allocating $100 million for the president and his staff for their external travel. We are allocating $50 million for Meet the People store, and I can assure you, if left unchecked, they would, as tradition as they would customarily do, spend a whole lot more. We're also giving him $150,000 a daily deposit for State House. And we pay the president a whopping $500,000 a month, out of which he pays no taxes, no rent, no feeding costs, no travel expenses, no medical bills. He essentially lives a virtual expense-free life.
So, Essa Mbaye Adama Barrow, Gambia dingol nin sulani kunjara be diamana about Adama Barrow. Adama Barrow man Gambia la. Among Gambia dingol la wato soto. Modo de biji, the camera ko am a joke. But Adama Barrow, another inner circle. Either Gambia, the Gambia development is just a lip services. But the entire plan, ibe menkeka wala nyindi. Adama Barrow, nala inner circle, another business partners. Adama Barrow man Gambia balu koleata. Mbewo elaborate la more. Nali aje balu be koleata in Gambia. Mune asabu. Ndiya mtanyana jana several times. But it's like we have to keep repeating to remind Gambians about Adama Barrow mune mala planeta ala aim and objective mu muneti. I mune aim to Gambia. Menaji falada. Adama Barrow could sometimes need to travel to abroad or any other places without per diem. Sometimes it can burn in bottle domo, like ordinary Gambian or like breakfast or lani sardino. In reality, Adama Barrow ko Gambia dingula be provoking in a very brutal manner as the president. It along 90% of the Gambian men will lay carte fire protela life in betandi. Walla dasa mumburo in botaldi. Many kasarli nyoso do walla living condition is almost Gambian standard. So Adama Barrow ko as a president, attending Gambia di manyana tadla the same living standard. So at manyana dasa malamburo ning sardinyola, which is a laughing stock to the Gambians. Adama Barrow is taking Gambian for granted. Mina elaborate a little more. Adama Barrow, several times in many of my videos, Katanalako, Adama Barrow man Gambia le nyasoto. Adama Barrow kai akemirale how much money he is going to earn in a month, in a year, or a day, a week, and even in a month, in a year. Adama Barrow la plan, ala aim and objective mende, ala entire family lineage. Kabira bare muso la karola o. Abare muso dengol la karola o. Aninga a molmen pick inside Gambia, the businessman on million name entire pick. Abe use kanka Gambia la kodo ta ka deal ka business on established and the profit they made this share 50-50. We will elaborate more. The reason why Gambia this 2026, Adama Barrow Mansakuna Nyanda Boilale, this is going to be from now against 2026. I will keep talking. After 2026, I am not going to discuss anything about Gambia. The foot level on your fanato. Mina jele. Bena political boot nyembang hadnale. Mina venture another life like different from Gambia issues. Na in Facebook account mba be delete lale. Na WhatsApp contacts or everything mba be delete lale. Nobody. Name only few individual many alonko. I have a very good rapport in all the contacts because the Gambia katanya man. Adama Barrow, he either create war in that country. Wala the Gambia, Senegal, the Gambia next level. We will get into that. From 2016, let's talk about this. We have to talk about this. We've made a very terrible mistakes. It caused by some disgusting souls within both home and abroad. And these are the Gambians. Based on the selfishness and then the self-interest that brought Adama Barrow to mess up with the poor innocent people life in that country. The individuals, a group of people, a very selfish individuals. Not about 2016, separation on Yinkita. People decided to make kings for a betterment because of the mistake the Gambian made, or those few group of individuals made in 2026. In 2016, to make an amend, Pruko falling. Kadia Malto Nanyol, I mean the stroke on Gambia Dion. Ikumakate fight Adama Barrow. The same group of selfish individuals that are collide again to make another terrible mistake beyond the poor innocent Gambian control. Gambia the only many they are innocent. Gambia the indigenous citizen many big. Another different group of selfish self-interest individual many among Gambia la imang Hamasoto Gambia. In among Gambia motor because Gambia man killer near the forefathers of the Gambia imang Gambia dingolity. But ye moneke because of Gambian all the lineal ye see round deal or na see dingol to jake the Gambian all the be opportunities to another. But in Mome Alan Quella great father soul Wuludo Banco will Buga Gambia all the son of Gambia Tinya to that extent because Imandula sitting at the Taradaband. But the Nalal Meniana, they are part of this group of selfish individual will link them the sale. And this is why a majority of investment and in savings in banking in the location or being a dealer kissing along. You know, banking came into it. Adama Barrow entire banking investment. And in your malaba kono. A killer business on your car mabo mentole. Anala bank account will be delaying damento. Pisula ni kunjaro tamata kola fale. Katandiko Adama Barrow mal tolla. Amantara Gambia dina futo. Aba fauna koleto. Anala entire family. Ya Adama Barrow tamindi iwinda kodege. Jumale Adama Barrow. Jumale Adama Barrow la business partners all. Yeah, another foundational law, Fatumata Barrow, Fatumata First Lady Foundation. Akata internationally using in the name of the Gambian children, Kataka Fonyan Dani abroad, international organization, health organizational, Kakolonian demand and Kanakata. Adama Fatumata Barrow is investing a multi-million-dollar project in Guinea. The Fatumata Barrow didn't kill in America B. Ana wala friend mame alankuye bondi Gambia kone samba America. Each of those boys, ika kodome bondi na udla ka save in their names. It's a multi-million-dollars in their bank account. Some of the details we don't take the high like tandal laja. But try to edit certain things called information or the bonde you can fintin the Gambia only. This is how Adama Fatumata Barrow is operating. Fatumata Barrow bought a plot of land in Combo South, a mighty huge land worth $30 million. $30 million is plot of land, a private state. Fatumata Barrow will sell. The reason why I mentioned all this, Mina alone. The time of the Fatumata Barrow, Adama Barrow will be a man secondary, la status in Benyadi. Manada wala Adama Barrow la barindingo Amadou Sane. Amadou Sane is so much powerful in that country. Frakata Central Bank la Treasury bill akasang wala kata more than $600 million. Adama Barrow a bari ne amul sane amanda wala de Adama Barrow bari ne wonarna ka company ni yele wodulato anala business partner mi ala ko ise Mauritanian mina hindulato le e company yele hindulato mi ala ko Adama Barrow bari ne wole wo yele ya yele mun dalile le aim and objective is important export kale aje wasun Gambia nyame ikamune import ikamune export mano tulo jabo Gambia la mano the price of the bag of rice the cost of bag of rice the basic need in Gambia abe level jumale to nga fale jane ko Adama Barrow nenete diamla Gambia la price tag la market yimbe nyame Gambia la population wala Gambia la balube ko der nyama Adama Barrow will never have time to talk about it because mona Adama Barrow la personal business and that's how they made profit. In the last previous program on Inkonoko, a ton of rice, ika important fundament is less than $100. Capital time member London. But when the bag of rice is almost $3,000. Even the duty free, Gambia port me ala kuni mano import na tax free la. Wabodo nanje. Nkale ko jumala ka Gambia la jumala Adama Barrow la business partner di Kalilu wage le ka mano almost 80%. Kalilu wage ni Adama Barrow mo 50-50 business already. Adama Barrow ni Kalilu wage itole tamo business la any business be Gambia Adama Barrow ni Kalilu wage mo 50-50 leti. Gambia la constitutional president wanyang ayad ama allow to venture into business. They organized, they made a business proposal, 50-50 CR basis. The documentation and registration has to be done in somebody's name. But the entire financial management has to be directly under Adama Barrow control and other business partners. They employ the CEO, they employ the managing directors, the financial directors, whatsoever. But every financial dealing and the profit he can made, it is a SIA-based project. Adama Barrow 50, Kalilu wage 50. Saya mune kije wo Libani so nyimban me alan ko wole ka 100% mano ni import na Gambia kono yo da bondi ko len kono. Then the bag of rice was cheaper during all the time because wole ko with all that price ni kamano wafi mena they are still making thousands of millions of profit. But some Adama Barrow, instead of having 100% or 50% profit per kilo water, now they need 100% profit. Ibalako Adama Barrow will take 50 and a business partner like Khalil Wage will take another 50. So you know the man on a price in Bangkok and anything Gino because Adama Barrow le dabije. Nganabo na odla to kotake. Adama Barrow wanted to he left another plan on Yindela with Amidu Jar. The Jar Oil. Fanamala business partner. Jar Oil Adama Barrow seated, they talk about the business, how to venture into agriculture. Adama Barrow they decided to choose a place where Adama Barrow came from. In other time they go Jagal Pachar is another place probably man in development knowledge in Adama Adama Barrow single-handedly authorized the central bank governor and in the Ministry of Finance ka $50 million nyinka bonina na central bank na kadi amidula. And now again, ika was sansero minjo udlatu niyaje ke Gambia la reserve la no nyinchika ikadi hamidu jala o ja oella. Ani Adama Barrow business partner to 50-50 siale bije. Imagine bring diamo siata media alto. Ye plano nyinde dako amidu sita media ni approach kaje ko ay kodo ni sende la ma sende. The rice business on be fail kan waffly. Now in the only project me metaka wala nyindiko ika sanso me wafi ni cement o bankoka. Almaje back of cement nyimbe rice la. because they need 100% profit. Almaji sun solar price ni nene jino la udlato ni ajibe kafa ko world market la. It is nonsense because they both need 50% SIA. Ila 100% profit on ye bole nyene kanye each ibala ko be la profit on ye sotla at least 50%. Yana bo udlato New, Amoro Basole Bidigiti Mentai ya attack in this Mauritanian national. This man is a politician, menalonko. The current regime, member Tamakan in Mauritania, member leading Naje. It has a rapport with those government, and even Yaj and the time on your corner. They give millions of dollars to APRC support because money. The criminal businessman will need a bankoka. You can man sell follow in the sort of you could buy in dealer. Ninamoti me alonko aka NPP party in Taka fund. As we speak now, Adama Barrow hold 2 different bank accounts in Mauritania. 3 different bank accounts in Saudi Arabia. Adama Barrow la savings ikanyeta nalako. Ni atatila mansa kundanye mboita. Ni kila kodoki European la bank nyende ka sisle ni la mansa kundanye mboita. So buddy, you have to venture into Saudi world, into Arab world. Ni tata udlato. Ni kila kodonye safe udlato. You will have access to your money. European or international organization will take access to la procure la colony freeze. So Adama Barrow la entire saving abe jumale use ka wala nyinde abarinde amadu sane. Abe wala use ka wala ka major investment oche on behalf of Adama Barrow. Na kadi Gambia la kodi wo kodi nyesunya ka dio o kending la kataka business on yela toya la mome alonga be Gambia ndule yaw jele from 2016 a broke poor boy like Mark me alonga even bank account from table Gambia kono B that man is now buying Gambian treasury bill from the central bank worth over $600 million. And then the most heartbreaking information pertaining to this one Alabama lako. Adama Barrow ni mol minimum form business partner solti. Wale mega bank in sang. And Adama Barrow is having at least 30% share Gambia mega bank. Malam valley in Latolon. Adama Barrow, the mega bank, the criminal Adama Barrow complied the term and condition on your bank in the national bank, Gambia Bela Bank Sola Bank. Ya di moment Adama Barrow 30% share bole soto ka wodla to be as we speak. Ngafale ko Adama Barrow ke mirale. Anyante jelle medle in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year. But Adama Barrow the Gambia development code. Adama Barrow la sister me alanko B, ala sister me alanko is a poor girl from nowhere. She's a multi-millionaire today. Investing a lot of money in America. Be niaje Adama Barrow te be police la IG. Niaje be Adama Barrow ta kuno la mendi ata a police use la to suppress the Gambian. CD Ture Adama Barrow be CD Ture le use kan anala sister ka investment okay on their behalf. But Adama Barrow directly, I tell you, he owned that particular project. So, Gambia dingolo, this is a bit of Adama Barrow nature in that country. Abemune keka, a tribal bigotry political. Adama Barrow do make sure he figure out. And in national, and Gambian Jumanya lenyante business local, and in si Juma lenyante business local. But I didn't see Juma lebe business okay nola without suppressing other businessmen from other tribes. So the first thing they did their surveys. Majority of those businessmen from the other particular tribes will let business on to suppress lale in order to have a total control of the Gambian market. Wala nyendiko maninga jama biye wol ninjola wala business will be fala kanne. Alta Gambia kon ali ajibe wala business will be suppress kanne. Adama Barrow la nyi Adama Barrow be nyame. Adama Barrow ning alaman Gambia dingul dema ning konko e batanni be futala dulado fuetate nakita ni nata abe violence le cause law bangoka, and it's going to be very terrible. But the indigenous citizens of that country will survive because money they will fight to end. Nala even to Europe konaja. Pimbe special program on the about Jamal Jan, the criminal all, the 419ers all, the betrugger. Niaji beja 90% of men be bunda a bemu foreignality. Tol men be sirin jan dol foreigner men be bangoka. Amo kurumo men be ya be bondi jambi 90% of that program a bemu foreignality. Because ikamuneke ninja ntinya de ka seiyale. Ikamembe ke jania so de ka be sambe yale. It doesn't matter. And the same thing is applying in any country in the world. But Gambia is the only country, many alongo, they will rely on foreigners to maintain a position in that government. It's only African countries, like West Africa in general, Gambia, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, and the other surrounding, will be prefer to rely on number of foreigners in that country, to la presidency, la government can maintain to remain in power, and therefore they have to directly work with the so-called foreign investors, because when mantara bankola development code will ni mendi mansala kawle mutaye deaka itolina la profit onyi nim businessman on ata biane adambaro mansakunda dia mutaye kodonyi ya amount of business proposal in alika 10 million project of dollar at laja. The next minute be 5 million on deal adambaro la go pocket la jene. Wo business will be main content. Another just name the run register. Another anything start that Bangkok business is already registered. Nine mo multi-many alanko they are drugs cartels. Nine ka drug oni order now from Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, Gambia le muna transit to be, and they are directly dealing with the ministers. Usman Bojang, Munamana case. The two PIU officers only fata nyadile. Because of Adama Barrow, like criminal businessman on many alanko, they are cocaine, they are drugs cartel on the moiti. Ibe droko ni cocaine on memuta, the so-called banta keta. Me alanko, Adama Barrow la minister le found a daba kono, la high-ranking government official le daba kono. Wala Adama Barrow fala business partner sol le found tamo droko nyenti. Ibe ole export kan. An innocent PIU officer soltadakas ila normal mount minke ila checkpoint ole nyike silo kanka traffic on control. Yalan ko ninde nimma nyino fajan tumamene ninje tumamene rek wale muta membe mbulo kono. Avec la blolati in other international medias. Kaje ko Adama Barrow la man sakunda sande bankola economy be fakane. The only support you mentioned wala nyente ko drug. They have to venture into, import and exporting, drugs, cocaines, heroines, and other hard drugs. So, even jana mansakunda time on Brianta da Kafu Mole Watman na bank be na World Bank be alaya. That's exactly what he does. He directly linked with the criminal. Droko nati namna banko kan kasamba ka government ka huge amount of money. Do you know 22 tons of cocaine is more than Gambia entire 12-month budget? A 2 ton, just 1 ton of cocaine. Well, it's siata. Gambia entire 12 month na budget mo be Gambia ding almost 2.5 million. Bela budget. Almanza kuna kamen prepare a year. 2 tons of cocaine on in a sea battered. So therefore, if a Gambian ngajele similar one of them became in Sunday, ikataka lasol samanante mane munkol ikataka ke janimol e kafu ko kokenol mem da jewle ke jike soron kataka ke janimol nyaten body in reality ini masa kundala molle kadilo ke ne trafficanol taji ko di bayen table ko ne la drokul nyindi lam danko masa kundala survive la nyan. So Adama Barrow purely Adama Barrow na inner circle are drugs cartels. They are purely dealing with drugs. Any drug la importation of the Gambia kono niaja man stop no. Adama Barrow la Mansakunda is directly dealing with the cartels. Because no the be itela joro fa soto no. Muna na manti so fa jono. So nyimu one of the information of the mialanko. So ninko nyaroko nga tanga sia with Gambians. So Adama Barrow nenete Gambia la interest at a potla at a consider. So for instance, Nale Adama Barrow Nali ajibe ala corruption me yalanko e kasi kafo even doctors Ismaila season the tafla doctors season atata si media teleko Adama Barrow e kumo men fononko ako audit report mo la mira rolati yemen bula audit na wol kam men mere ka wala safaka to nyama Ismaila season killing anata wala authenticated ni futala o level order futala o society in kono Ismaila nyoro ambolo mala nan boko ma wadi sabala nyoro ande crew ambata na tad barada de nyeme kanko no nyekindi le no alanga na board lata Minister of Basic Secondary School, the Minister Marta, Gambia la Basic Secondary, Mayor of Cabo, Nursery School, kata Primary School, kata na High School, also. Minister Bundame Maratala, na Education, and a section also dojele, wala department also dojele, Mayor of wala kamara na curriculum la, wala ate, wala kamara. Bukol wala ka bukol nyim prepare buku jumal li nyanta karana na primary school ole nyanta jumal le heads these ministries wala na national curriculum department jumal le head ndiam danyi na 4 months ago 5 months ago iko the entire Gambia Ministry of Basic Secondary and in a curriculum department. Equal after local language introduced in the country. Gambia educational system is a joke. Black Hube Kegan Gambia is only Gambia, what they call B. Since nying local language introduction of a caring. Yen sidol men neglect ida malve siri be jibe kanyindol ba implement la. I will elaborate more. The Ministry of Basic Secondary School and in Gambia Curriculum Department, headed by one Mr. Job and one Mr. Salah. Yenyim proposal na dile kasama Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. Katani lako ye proposal le safe kwebe fonne nyini nala. Ibe international organization on ibe ole nyini la proka fonne nyinge lafta local language introduce la in Gambia primary and in the nursery school. So bria proposal on save ko the number e ko list on menu key especially to United Nations Katani United Nations nako. It will left a local language also introduce na banko la primary level ke sa na dinne on se karonke no fon la kala. It's a memo ka menu susu like German on ka karonke la German na France ka karonke French la Angale ka karonke la Angale la American ka karonke la American la Japanese ka which is one of the best solution Gambia ding on nyanta mangala. Wala ngala programo nka beke ni manega ka because nka diam money samo mbuka diam German only. So a could the list on in prepare here key to fund to raise fund purukana in local language in taka initiate Gambia ya key mentor ya key United Nation. Among the list ye menudi wala nyindiko ye manika language ni ya indicate ye fuller language indicate ye Jola language ni indicate ye Suwala language ni indicate These are the major tribes in the Gambia. Amancheko manjako la kama manyana tanraje. Amancheko serirol ta manyana tanraje. Amankeko kasinkol manyana tanraje. But you see Nimbanko nin tilimo mantara banko kan even the educational system on kono. This is what happens. Nimbanko the banko di many alanko manke banko fango dingolti. But because of the opportunities to control nata German yamen tol nata na wulu ja dingol wulu ta many alanko manke real German olti because in mambo nyim banko kan. No opportunity in soto they will prefer to support people many alanko in no be able to Ausland, a monkey in German banko dingolti. But a foreigner, they will give more support to foreigner than the citizens of this country. Well, not German will be any decision cake and Jantebuka against. Well, not Donald Trump be anything cake in America and Tebuka Donald Trump nyembuka against. Ndol foreigner, we are bad. Ninko we are bad doesn't mean the entire foreigners are bad. Eko one rotten potatoes can destroy the whole bag. Full man get on ya. That like angle proverb or what? Well, be Gambia education on system on your connoisseur. Gambia education system or the employment opportunity, even the education, even the scholarship opportunities. I have a bunch of lists to discuss. So the Minister of Basic Education and in Gambia Curriculum Department, not only list the key United Nations naka tandiko. He left a local language in the summer now as a pilot project. Pruko Saka di neka karamoti. Not only respond yes go. United Nations not only kunyin ta recommend katandiko. This is one of the most commendable projects in Yandame initiate la Gambia kono. But they have one option in left for the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education and Department and in Gambia curriculum katandala ko the list ye meni samananje. Nitol ba sponsor they can only sponsor Wolof. Can you believe this Gambia dingolo? This is just a mere joke. Iko the United Nations ye listo mendi United Nations ye Gambia statistics ya belon ye Gambia demography ya belon. The Gambia geography ni Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education on NGB information on men dintela bring a question on resi la na comment kije. Meo kije kweto la feasibility study nyinkele na taje ko this is a pilot project. But it has to start with Wolof. And then, the Mandinka and the Fula and other things. But in reality, you left a public domain in a fake wala. This is a sponsorship project. Ya initiate na mindole Senegal. Ika information on from Moleko, United Nations now fund is a bloody lie. This is one of the organizations in Senegal. Either it's a very recommended organization you will need to implement. But instead of putting to own curriculum in prepare ka safeka lani because you more sort of know, they directly copied from the Senegalese plan you men prepare put it up in a basic secondary education in Senegal. It may introduce your similar copy in some part of the copies, collaborating with that Senegalese institution in Senegal to introduce the same thing. Because look, ni laftaka Mandinka language introduce Gambia. Ilaftaka full language introduce Gambia. Ilafta Jola language introduce la Gambia ni manjako. Wonyanta kela national debate leti. Ukuma nyana kila comment Gambia la curriculum damala nyanta o discourse la no. It is beyond that. Gambia mubanko di mealanko, you have almost 8 different tribes. Among these different tribes, banko mole siele bijemeni siata. Majority of Mandinka consists almost 37 to 40%. Followed by Fula. Ninga tera national language nimbe use la banko ka menyante introduce la banko kang. Hanata manke Mandinko di bara Fula kauna follow nyanta kelaji. Wala nyanta introduce because they are the second largest. But look at the Gambia geographical location. Just do your own feasibility studies. Yajibe. The Wolof language me alonko, you only introduce something. Gambian educational system on yankono. I impacts them into mafane. It's greater Banjul areas. Nita and Tolanyome mafala yasoji. But Ajibe Bang, the Ministry of Basic Secondary School here start to introduce regional mentor. Near Ajibe, there will manke the one of dominant region in the country. Malum munemuina motive behind this. But it will come to light at later part in the Gambia. And it's going to be, Nime Cheku, is going to be very, very critical. Nimanke, it has nothing to do with tribe. This has nothing to do, this is a national issue. Gambia, yende muta nyao nyante, I appreciate it. Mulana muleka vanyekonte, I'm very controversial. But ni natana. Ndekamana Gambia na National Assembly members, they failed the entire country. They failed munana, but muna ketafana. I'll come to that end. So, Minister of Basic Secondary and in the Gambia curriculum, yenye strategy le tani nanka landi damal teme la department on tema because near department on yinjibe mojuma le beje dokola ningo futuma mele binafala ko tribalism, but it's entirely dominated by the Wolof. Nale former Badra Juf Ninjibe, Badra Juf was one of the head at that department. This initiation only started at that particular time. The former VP. But look at how do they initiate these things without coming to the public domain, without Gambia dingoli ima even sensitization ke nationwide. Katandi Gambia dingola ko lafta local language le initiate la na karamboldo. Fine. Maybe any sponsorship in dealing in within outside. International organization Jumala ba fole ko. Altoli list of men prepare until we can only support the Wolof language from the Gambia entire 9 different tribes la language nyenkono. You have almost 9 different tribes in the Gambia. But United Nations, can you remember the name United Nations obe funding Yenkela Gambia, the education on your fund Gambia, meaning a newly initiated educations or syllabus, you be men prepare a books, pruka introduce Bankoka mealonko, Banko mealonka siata si world. And if the language men start can introduce, it is the minority language in that country. For United Nations na dokula le wole kungole teta wala inyale mata wole ina foiko yetame maninko letame fulola. These are the biggest tribes in that country. You have the Jolas la population. Wole ina foiko yetame yo si sabanani lulo bele kweko no. We have nintole ba la nyim project on your sponsor by Wolof Damalatala. This is an insult to the entire nation. It is an insult to Gambia as an independent state. This is an insult to the entire other tribes in the Gambia. They have to near Tara Iko. Many the best solution to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. Need more introduce, not even local language introduce. At least from 3 to 4 or maximum 5 different languages. Is a choose. Like ika religious studies kinyame anin Christian religious studies. Ika keno nyame. Neme mu meshile moldi you do yete Islamic studies nyinta. Nin Christian la wat Christian ilaftata la Bible studies la yule la Christian religious studies nyinta. Near list wala nyama. If you are interested in speaking local language like Wolof, you choose to be part of the Wolof language la lecture nyendo. Near feel le ko ite binyanda fulani le tala as a fuller ilafta ka crown kela kawalla ye fuller fana indicate ye fuller le taye la karamonyi start from the basic secondary from the nursery school kindergarten to primary school ye ulfana karandi ka safe mandin kol wonyong jolale wonyong but it kana akafo ko ibe si kilina tala me alonko is the minority one bole follow introduce la purweta itoleni project of phase 1 and in phase 2 and in phase nonsense. This is an insult to the entire nation. Ndanga mana sila problem we na alamendo wala nyende Gambia de on mesiri nje mote diamla nyina the other seal maybe wolte diamla they might feel ko imanyana diamla nyina. This is not about Mandinkaya. This is not about Fulaya. This is not about Wolofia. The failure of the education system of the wala nyendiko. Niko alinga educating and dingoli educating ni. Imagine a language imposed la woleka. Banko sako banko me alanko ye sieso de menta for si konando. Why are you imposing a language to the students? Many alanko. Majority of that particular region book or language in sport. Ibuka speech. Why are they introducing that language in a region where the minorities, the language coming introduced are the minorities in that village? Why not introducing a language to a particular region? Me alonko regional into majority name language name introducing. But you see this is the hypocrisy in the Gambia political fraternity. Ye anything long Gambia kono sa bedunda political kono. A bedunda political kono. Sometimes they can see the ngaji been to law department on that. Kodo be jobete follow that. Name me amira. Mark Janneh told them sometimes not lackadaisical entertainment on Facebook. We are not informed because you speak better English than Mark. That we are very well informed. The Gambian National Assembly member soul nga question on your race nga tandala ko alta business of basic secondary ya muru ko de la project me ya start ya revise ya muru ni koma. Let them stop it. Let them involve all the entire tribes. La Gambia Bangoka. Wala nima mfonyi solo. Ye fonyi mkodo men nyini na nyini ye kodo leta ya batara din tala molibu leta ya damale ya talantala nyole teme ko haite nyi language sol bedu ni nola at once. Ibe kiline tala. Ale Gambia National Assembly members into ngato le tax. Alkanas divisional natina divisional be killing Adama Barrow masakunda kono political kono even the business kono the entire whatsoever. Adama Barrow was tamana ko de lafto binda education system kono andunga information also sulane kunjaro eko even scholarship mon kame apply silang basic Ministry of Basic and Secondary eko there's a big segregation. There's a specific tribe so they can support ila application than the other tribes in the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. We will find out the number of applications menka soto scholarship menka D the list we will get that one. So I can promise you na ko bekala. The number of Gambians ali ni left Gambia develop. The tribal bigoted political alaboni. Na education not a compromise la no. with tribal bigotry politics. Now, I'll tell another language in national Bangkok to suppress the Gambians, to enforce them. Look, Ning Gambia Tata, Ning Kwanyin Tata Abefoot. You know, Gambia Dingolo. But the entire department on Yingono. Wala the Gambia curriculum mean at the time of applying this so-called application to United Nations. For amam mol taraje ba mandingol taraje wala mas flol taraje aman jolal taraje o department on yento. Men say ko nyin kelen no ka tanila ko no nin ko many one particular single tribe ni introduced as a stage is going to be a problem because they are not because of a monkey Gambian national language. They are part and parcel of it, but they are not majorities. And even language ni introduced la German ja yisi German sodaja. But kanjo malaka karanje German on the count. It's a German language. So Africa, until we are so exceptional to that extent, for the fact that different languages they are completely different. Nimba kela. Nyanta make sure lale. Ngani sido le fanala judi la. Gambia Minister of Basic and Secondary Education another curriculum. Ali fulo la judi la o Bangkoka. Ali maninko la judi la. Ali ka jutu jol. Ali kakala jutu jola la o Bangkoka. Jola kawo nyanta karana o Bangkoka ne. Mandika kawo nyanta karana o Bangkoka ne. Anyanta introduce la Gambia primary level oltole. Manja ko kawo nyanta karana o Gambia primary level oltole. Ali kakala ti ali Gambia no kasi nyembe kala Gambia da malto banko be tara dating. Even the journalists will mark when you investigate. I can happen. Sometimes because of these issues, for the Gambia core, I am going to be done and dusted with that country. Sometimes I cannot even imagine banko be katara 10 kundin take more than 10 dinne katara jerin more than 10 less than 10 people. Ikaf kunyin ta ka decide. Kanaka impose Gambia and they have to accept it and nobody dare to complain about it. Even the National Assembly members are not there to talk about it. Ibuka suna diamu na National Assembly members will never ye. Ibuka hanika diamu. Eka more than a group of people, many of them antami motan, ye lua lo ni banko dingu bisata. Alaji be ni lua ni lo ni nyamensila. Ni educational me alako kumemboko educational. Ibo introduce la banko dole. Only Gambia bekena wala. Information of Bembole yana siata. But in Medanale Janet follow. Nyunkonye follow up la follow. The number of list of the application of Menkake, the scholarship Kamendi, even the university student. Namo eko sam there are big segregation on the BJ. Kabanko din jamale nagletala. Because of they fall into particular tribes. They are now giving opportunity to the particular tribe. Nganyine kele Jamela time okono. This is what has been going during Jamela time okono, especially in the areas I came from, Foni. The same trend now shifts because of Adama Barrow tribal bigotry political. It be the same thing in so ning Adama Barrow boyta another man sa fana nato fana ba fala ko okay main fana accepting la Gambia di wono. You see ni nyanta ennale. Nyem batra ya nyanta banaw banko kanne. Opportunity has to be given to the Gambians, irrespective of your political background, irrespective of your tribal backgrounds. Barinka mansal siniji ka batra tamani banko di ka mendi ade bola kala because iajira ko Gambia ka tula diam na diam ta ke kedele. The number of corruption of a banko kan gamba banko be man kafunyole wuli ko Adama Barrow ko ta sungole me make molte ye kitini but mo be dering. Because many be sunya rola wole be division on atikan Gambia la seal tema. Ya lonko Adama Barrow mo long akomo bukatama bari kamentandi Adama Barrow la nyinko di kari ko la soto e month. Main business o sandele mbe mol sambale ne make la business partners we bala ko la family be ni nangam ne made la a month. Adama Barrow has nothing to do with Gambia development. Adama Barrow be jelle made in a year. Call a made. Listen to Kere Fatula programs with Durujai's statement killing for. I spoke about it. Adama Barrow, I see Fatam Fansomen na the Gambia ding on tema. Banko e bantala, wala banko kam during the political rally. Another Murukodeke State House, aka different seal kumanine kanaka political rally kije. Me mira Gambia State House bunyabi je nyame. Bunyabi o banko kan nyame. Na banko la bumba. Bungo menyanta hormana ko State House. Alana samba na nye. Mune kera problem o tisila. Ninga jibe Adama Barrow la business partner so nga men be mention. Abe sala kule le kono. Aning flol. Manding kol men bije. Wol mu kilo judo sama tolti. Ko amal jiti afa nyame. So kelo dun danyin si sabol da malte. Mune kera jola alla. Fo jola manyana president nyina ubangoka. Fo manjako manyana president nyina ubangoka. Fo serero manyana president nyina ubangoka. Maningo manyana president nyina ubangoka. Fo fulo manyana president nyina ubangoka. Fo sarakule manyana president nyina ubangoka. Fo suwa manyana president nyina ubangoka. This is the question, sila. Mune the State House in kono sila. Adama Barrow Gambia CL minutala, even family members or family do bije kundutale. Because of Adama Barrow si kilomen nati da maltema. CL nyoko. Ima kon dalile nedo nyininka dola kafo ko nyunika mele tole tamu Gambia ti. Especially maninko la karoni maninko kumo ko kafo ko maninko amna tamu Gambia ti. And nenema maninko jaelo a kontele tamu Gambia ti. Yes, Gambia founding father son Lesotho. Nila tholo na mbebra na history le no mangota nga kisikisi. But despite barika kelo je fana Bangkoka. Moneka kelo na especially Africa jante. Jama jama moment nati ya sindi. Wale ka jati kele because aka feel le kunta jande sila. Mendi ata nyimbe wale kele nyimbe Bangkoka sila. Nye problem also back in Jawara time. Jamenata emphasize more on that the same thing. Adama Barrow nata ya betinya because he knows nothing. Jame was smart enough to manipulate the system. And most of the cases Jamaica Kenya maka closed door meeting on it. For bida fa mutata desperate kumamena ko sila na mansa fa banta bara tumamena finti ni banta wala nyam. But wato closed door kake. Adama Barrow be wale kick sang in deliberately in a political platform. Sido ka kuma ta ka yoni in sido la. Ye mandinko use kanaka mandinko ta ka belittle in the Gambia because of moneketa. Sa wale na naje sila. Adama Barrow katelo la United Nations be preso laka. African Union be preso laka. Adama Barrow be sila den ko naji ta sanala masakunda bote abe sorandale because I sunyaro menke. Alamasa kunda sunyaro menketaje because if kaito sign Adama Barrow la name la kataraje module milliono sunya bi ni Adama Barrow masakunda bote nin kisiksi beker Adama Barrow masakunda la ba face la ikantanda la ka nyimbe nyamento ni United Democratic Party na de bene kele wala ni Essa Faal na ta bene kele be soranda saibe mne kele mo na atle noto ibala ni osita asela kaito system ul nyinta ya betinya system onyenko ibale kana kiti ul ni nokam ise sinyi Bangkoka as a retired former president ikaina fa Adama Barrow but Adama Barrow mune atinna Adama Barrow kabina sila Gambia le but Adama Barrow is buying a compound in Mauritania banking his finance in Mauritania and Saudi Arabia but not in the Gambia. Abe koku ke kan Gambia kono mo business o ka profito men be medica kodo be bonni Gambia kata ka save nyindula kare neto Mune atinna ine Adama Barrow mokata. Saiko Adama Barrow, because he has a business partner in Sarakule communities, so therefore Adama Barrow need to remain as the president. Wala nyin tatam ko nyimboga kata. Adama Barrow e mol men promise no kachala successor di member ko like sunduture sundimu manding quality. The Sarakule community ya ko nation nata the business opportunity Adama Barrow la mansakunda mendi Sarakule la wobe close la. And therefore sunduteke Adama Barrow la successor. Adama Barrow Mutako Muhammad Jala Nyandakila la successor the Fulolem because he has a business partners in fuller communities. The Sarakule community yajeko fulo nyona daka manzatin to la business of a father because these are the competitors in the Gambia. There's a keen competition between Sarakule businessman and in the fuller business. Yajeko Adama Barrow, they got a lot of a partnership with Adama Barrow. Likewise the fullers. So Kelobe Ulda Maltema in State House. Mandinko, it can feel the canoe nada. You know many business opportunities so it will be fall out. So Ninebeji. But if I the Jola Lale. Falling a commanding Fanabe La Ubanko Ninkan. And you Manjako Fanabe Banko can. So you see these things. So Adama Barrow be tema as the biggest hypocrite and manipulator. Sorry for the language. Me use kande. Adama Barrow ya fanke mandingkoti. Mandinga wa bato. Adama Barrow ya fanke sarakuleti. Sarakule ya tatu. Adama Barrow ya fanke floati. But fly ya tatu, but fly yellow babala. But because of our interest with them. These are the majorities. The second biggest tribe in the Gambia is Fuller. Let me associate myself with Fullers. With the interests of the business as a business partner and in the election of Bina, the Fullers will see me as a Fuller. Because I'm Fuller. The Salakulela side for the same thing. At the same time, Adama Barrow is using two different interests at the same time. To have a political support from the Fuller communities by associating himself with the Fullers. The same thing like Sarakules. Ya jamelo business property shall mean baby Gambia kona ni jumalasa. Adama Barrow ya be single-handedly ani Sarakule la be business on yintalanyo wana. A landed properties. Nina ka jamme kamfa. Na emiyala. Jamelo bakery support jumala besa. That expensive plot of land jamme mental mulgula baby jumala sang. Adama Barrow na Sarakule businessman olla. Kodo nyindunda mindole, they see among themselves. So these are the three interests. Gambia di kadi amato le memne Gambia nanyolo merol. Adama Barrow jibe na tara Adama Barrow la Gambia la political, Gambia la development abole a concern. Adama Barrow manyana nyensi fatan fansolo ne la State House. Nyine be Gambia faka. Nina na Gambia mantara taka no. Because Adama Barrow la tribal bigotry political. I found associating me with Fuller la Katamon Fuller because Fullers are the biggest, second biggest tribe in the Gambia. And then our business partners, so the majority are Fullers. Some of them are Fullers. Like Ja Oil is a Adama Barrow la business partner. Like Sansol ni Simentol Mimbeka do now Bangkok ka wafi. Adama Barrow has his own seer. And Amidu Jala business. Ninat nanga fale jana repeat. Atara na Central Bank, I $50 million hand pick nyenta. I di Amidu Jala kai business. So Amidu Jala and the Fuller communities, these are Adama Barrow business partners. Jumalan Q Seldi. Adama Barrow narna taka tandi wala ko. Nimbe jila masala mbete letala. Anyana ka sundu to the promise. Anyana ko Sarakule lafta Musa Drame. Ning Adama Barrow bejila Adama Barrow Musa Drame ta aya senda no. Because ni one thing it will have a loose la business interest in Adama Barrow government. So Jolal ni manding call ni manja call ni order papelol. Adama Barrow malto la time soto Bangkok. Adama Barrow be two different interests about the Jibeka. Two different interests. He is using the wall of tribes. Ke marani bankola dulal na fulol. Punasula da mena preso lao kambo ikolo ya feel control we are minorities yang. Ma access soto anu ninko mbe kukilan takela. But mfanasi opportunity you use na Gambia finance nyinta nga bemara. Ibala kumbe kala Adama Barrow manipulate la nyame abadila. Gambia dingono, this is the political landscape in the Gambia. Sanga, atul nita monela to make changes. To bring all this division into one umbrella. One in 2026. Dolmo political scientists solid. Na NSGPP. Na feasibility study ke Gambia kono. Ngalo. Me nationalism. Me will introduce la to funding kele kumo. Adama Barrow fela akajele funding kela. I have a bunch of topics today. It is going to be, in fact, random. Niamuda eko Saudi project la Spanish project. Sulanin kunjaro na da kibaro nyindinana. Sulanin kunjaro ko Adama Barrow la mansa kunna partnership la sign with the Spanish government la. Albana ko Adama Barrow mansa kunna amam plans to Gambia la funding kele. Yeah. Look at some topic already. Boys are not burning issues. Silani kunjaro na reko e fomo neta. Adama Barrow la mansa kunda fele yalong ye jelel tawot lato. Eko mol men nyando ka visa nyene. Falta la Spanish la diplomat. Spanish la immigration. This migrant situation of Europe, Spain is part of the EU. EU member state agreement signed an MOU. Momo be kaito sotonola and a Sangen national. You have national documents and then Sangen countries will be Sangen visa and national visa, especially German. You have Sangen visa and in German a national visa. German national visa mu German na luadro ne katama odlato. The Sangen na visa nying ila taman condition ni MOU in other European Union ye condition Sangen condition ye menta ya deda. Wo lua nying wone mo Sangen te niyo visa nying te kajele ka stampa bala Sangen. But the national visa you got any stamp nyimba niyo na mu German national visa that you can only stay in Germany. But near Sangen so that you can travel to all these Sangen countries. Ima kitabu na la mole be Sangen countries so because the Sangen visa is that the Sangen countries so seleka. Yeah. So nyinamu Adama Barrow masakunda Gambia funding kill nyina. Gambia funding kill nesa. Ntola traditional custom in the Gambia. Ika dual na alifale ka dual ye dingoli wulu dingoli ye boy bala o dingoli ye men wolena na parents la problem on take over parents le relax e dingoli ye balundi umuntu le duality umuntu le barakolti. This is part of our traditional custom but Gambia be meant to be iba ekonoma aye wulu aye kulu aye samakramota ko beke me mina konoma ya fambe dimeli nyame ay ko beke iko aljanna to tahta damil ummahat dingol aljano be basin dapato le koto ite bayo bata beke pour sameti sa douane ni no nyaadile kala julojo yeta ki kala moteji even university student be sirin Gambia ko ni mando kusoto flanin kunjaro a number of listing and many yana ko eta Spanish la formula the number of Gambian graduates in the universities hopeless ringolo youth all be hopeless ring Imanke come because it are entirely hopeless. Amanje ko eman objective tal embela la sembo bela jata kendia bela hamo bela bari manku keno because Adama Barrow mansa kunda man fentande le nyanda menkela bari sila kaka na monela e kana modern slavery kan uldi molla wallahi Spanish la wulo kono na boy do be a very funny guy. Man that of like what I do kuraja na Nadia very funny. Na botanam pumpiter katola. Wouldn't found a fan someone and is hard working. I respect those samalal. Near the German found a German book of Baluno, spend a pumpiter coma because when I dole bije. Adama Barrow came clearly mentioned. Yani Adama Barrow be form town war one of 10,000 of forming Kadi, Gambia Dingon la put it as spend $1. Majority of those people many are okay bitaji. Na take kokata wala. I jackal pachari ye another project ninta Gambia masakunda ba sponsor ko. Gambia diwo Gambia din tata doko la jackal pacharo money doko lat every Monday be kala $200 ibola receive la. That's almost $12,000 to $14,000 a month as sama dollar. Kemoya be analyze was concourse bank Gambia. Because funding ke bebe mila la ko ntakata 14,000 money ka wala soro. Nte number lute ko nando moto je nte bunjola je. But in our board lot, yes, some for instance, like Saudi Arabia. This boy fella, one Mr. Songo fell Saudi Arabia. Program keleno sundutu menteko sundutu de fabu sane tata threatening ni. Ndi amda fabu ejam fabu sane. Gambia funding kela liamo ne masakunda sita telede ko kana funding kele kina nyonka me kantola. Bambania la Gambia alla Saudi Arabia. Kana slave yala ji ibe jola $200 la a month. Odi noli ballet shogun. Doli je la musulni ifuduta le musulni din sabale tu koma je. Wol baye batami ke kuni nyante banyo la douane ni lale. Arambaro masa kundaka kata Gambia la funding kele ke slave oti in Arab world. Ni kuranda. Ni break tiye. Mbedi amala janta ntafa wallahi billahi ngam bondina Lebanon nak ansa hani abe Gambia bi aka sometimes aka worship like the moment better immediate mobe quit me anko he was very close to me Allahu Akbar wo from wato janaka travel a very nice person already know. Na photo sit later. Hana kuranta quit. A couple of dokola by force. Very hardworking, decent guy. Nkai mune wo tanyin na ntinge tulong Gambia nyameng. Ibela fine job la ibela little business la you are living good. Yanata in that hani sasa tanyin buka shake. What word that? Because of infinite bandane. Guys say Gambia. Akabe sele kate sailor. Because ala visa la contract kwenye mambani tele contract kwenye kamuta wodlato. Guys, this is a joke. Ila passport oblebulu. Ye borita another banku nyinkang. Nga Gambia national, nga Gambia embassy na authority nyinta ko contact. Nga na nye bondi. Jamme mansa kuna time wakona na nyende. Mbe jama na kona jama. Amanjara nga wodlato befo. At the end of the story. Amota na Gambia biya moneke. Haina afuduta. I kioso to most menka samana live to babudu kona jang Gambia ni akamuru na kala business oro na Gambia. Gambia no. Arambalo kakata wol na alla Gambia dim foni kila kala to le wafe sulalia. Ani kuranta by force ka do ko kele. Ni ko sa satale. Dini meno kana lo bulo kono ke tulo bon. Ila domoro ni domoro tabi parete ya dile la domoro to ni to parete domoro le kana o le ta ya landi kodo na kafunyo ma kende bafele me alon ko na kul dunda nyokono bake atala Saudi Arabia ko di nyino nga wolo nyamen tel na mo childhood friend to leka boy ka wuli. That of Falajam. Science a big man in the Gambia. Karakila Orkile Flanya a la Paso Jona Sedana. Gwendanga dogo ke mbayen. Tetekila moja slaved. Satana. Be obedient to be. That of Fala. Karamon la babul. millions of dollars is project akawle ron Gambia kono. A childhood friend of mine. So you see, Adama Barrow kata Gambia di wonle wacho lato because Saudi la project obi nyame agency la bije. Alors embassy mol meni o calling ke fa bu sala nyolo be profit ole made la over you. Ni ke jo $200 le sala ko agency ni be $500 la deal wala. Ni o $500 to be $300 talaje. Ite men kata taro kosi kata doku wala. Yene ye jo la doku wato la fana. Inyando $500 men so lete mo so de $200 indi lete de. Money kede de for it Gambia dingolo. Alenga unity nga Adama Barrow masakunda boyindi. Alaji be Gambia dingo bi ning bank ning criminal or tare Gambia dingo ye robin ke Gambia kono bi. Alialo why this Banjul attack it is so special because Adama Barrow la business partner le nyinsula nyenti. Nyinsula latna Adama Barrow tadaka investment okay in Mauritania. Mauritania la government be dament opposition party member no ruling in Mauritania be. Nyimman is one of the prominent member and a representative or political party or government representative for the Gambia. I think Adama Barrow tema beten. Imagine bring ko arm robin nekelaji ya program nyinke special one oti can make sure ko the culprits Procoli ibol mutanola at the best. Jibeba. Within the span of the short period of time to more be displaying information better can you West Africa dan na wala moles kabrin Senegal for Guinea Bissau ke be contact la natalo taka be displaying the police mutano nyame because of money ala political affiliation with Adama Barrow government and in the connection yemensodo with the Mauritanian government and then the Adama Barrow government imagine yatla case ni so special nyenti Access Bank la attack nying munakina ninyi operational manke banyoni wo criminal BT mutala but because he a prominent member lema a politician and a so-called businessman because I don't know a partner like what I operational the police special operational kikota ala look Gamenon what I'll be observant benana le yanebi na batri fala ba aladka alla political sanga new name le dim fola alla political scientist ola the NSGWP party the secretary general and the party leader 2036 me Gambia marala na party be Gambia marala me mo tombona me ya londo soto anyanda Gambia marala mba dictate la Gambia nyanda marala nyame nama kenga ke sala abacha la kwati nga kodeta nga do sindani ting mo ke ngo kodeta wala babangida ni ma ke ngo kodeta nama ke don fonsi ende sida Gambia nga ndinga president nga wo sira ngo sort of state house yango dabula ke bekana na Ministry of Justice yango da wambe appoint la Minister of Justice ndemanta mosoro ndebe mutala na state house le ko sojaroli e saba corruption nge mutala physically be physical fight la ngoyango kite kosa kuma danga sara sieto dango mbelua impose lo bango kan corruption on avec la death sentence la life in jail Jawro mbeke koni kuyade no kuyade jalba kuyade ebe kumala na balinde ko do dile la na fulo taxpayer so la ko don do dile la nak mena salary to mole ebe kumala na Jawro mbeke la governor ti LRR na baita badi bunkol badi jara kianse ke jara la badi bula capital odi la bel so medana la jara kol me economics jara kol jara LRR UDP kana election online ni UDP fota ni sira wala jara kol me message di la ala make sure UDP ni sira ni cancel election on yawe Ni UDP fought and insira mbe sansono la jara. Me economic sansono la jara jara konko bale fala. Ni NSGWPO banko ta mbe tai mba legalizing law banko. Alda Gambia prison no kono tai sabala drone join killing drone beji. But anambaro la in drugs cartel ni cocaine dealer sol min bebe Gambia kono bi. Mo killing tiji am ana ebe mentala Gambia prison no kono ko cocaine ole mutabulo kono. You know? Dame. Yarango la albe balu kende ba because ika taje hana tea ika tileming. It's good for your lungs. Ila long sol atul sika sabaral bal nika timing. Ila long sol anata ika muscles katale soto ika contract sonole soto ila muscles nyento. Ika tie la tulo nyente ke mwala ila muscles nya aka expand aka locale aka fanya de angale kamot inspano local ibala ko contraction on aka bondile aka smooth aka soft aka flexible la kulof alta nyomi natural herbs of nyomi atul man tyla value long jaran ko alta jaraka ke bal nyenga so meda na le jane do ne come from Thailand under the influence of Thailand okay don't imam dingol ledi mo ko na go Gambian diaspora don't worry NSGWP ala baraka jibe lala malbe to konton alto lal konton asuto to dia ni message no nga battery la bay join nan nak jaranko la da bona koto da mo jaranko la koto jaranko le mesanson na baita ron to kan to ka ta do ku jinek I'm telling you so meda na le jane to ngale bula nyum special program on di bela na jane to bye bye